Good morning, everybody. I want to talk a little bit about the Beatitudes today, in just a small little section of it. In chapter 7, verse 7, 7 through 12, Jesus says, and I'll read this, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. He who seeks finds. And to him who knocks, the door will be opened. Which of you, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, though you are evil," how do you like that? "If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts?" Give good gifts to those who ask him. "So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets." So the world loves that whole first section there, ask and you shall receive, seek and you'll find, knock and the door will be open. Yeah, we all do, because it's just such simple, it's this great wisdom, and it speaks to how to be successful in life, how to get through this thing with a bit of finesse. And which actually, if you think about it, it kind of knocks at the pride thing. We have to ask for help. But yeah, so the world loves that. We love that. It's just great advice. But if you follow through, it's not just talking about how to live in terms of how to get stuff, how to find stuff, and grow as a human being. It goes on to talk about asking for how to ask from God. Like, we need help. We definitely need help here. So he compares this whole relationship with if a son asks you for a fish, are you going to give him a snake? Or if he asks for a piece of bread, are you going to give him a stone? No. I mean, that would be just mean and cruel. And so if we, who are not the greatest examples of righteousness, if we behave like this, how much more good, I'm sure that's good English, how much more good is God than us and our Father? So, if you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give you good gifts to those who ask him? So, we go about asking God for stuff with some really small, pathetic view of who he is. And so we ask a minor deity, really. That's kind of the way we treat God. Like, yeah, he's God, but like, no. He created everything you see. He created the fabric of our existence. He created gravity. Have somebody explain gravity. How does that actually work? Yeah, not many people can do it. Maybe it's like 3 people on the planet who go, yeah, it's like this, and they might be wrong. So God created all this with such incredible detail that we will spend the next 1,000 years trying to research it out. Even with the best computers and the best minds and the best science, we still will never figure it out. Because the created are never greater than the Creator. And so we are just going to struggle with this. And yet we, who look around and are amazed at the beauty and wonder of the world that we live in, when we ask God for something, we treat him as though he's not kind, he's not generous, and he's not going to give us what we ask. And I think this is just, it's an affront to God. It's an affront to who we say we are. And it's just wrong thinking, because the God that made us, the God that loves us, the God that left heaven and came and died for us, he said specifically, I came that you might have life and have it abundantly. What does that mean? I mean, a lot of us, if you live in America, we're living a pretty good, I don't know that Solomon had life as good as we do, honestly. But we have it good. But are we happy? He wants us to be joyful. He wants us to enjoy this experience. This is our earth experience, and I think it's important that we make the best of it. And so if our God, who loves us more than we can understand, who created all of this for us and for his glory, so that we might know him, if he did all that, went to all that much work, how can we ask him for something and go, well, probably not going to do that? I think that's just missing the point of who God is. And I think it's important that I bring all this up because God is incredibly generous, beyond our wildest imaginations. And with that in mind, we read the next passage, which says, do to others what you would have them do to you. So, for this sums up the law and the prophets. So, we would not want God to they don't need that. Although we do that to ourselves. But God is hugely generous, and he loves us and wants us to just enjoy this experience. Yes, there's trials, there's suffering, there's boredom, there's all that stuff. But that's an attitude problem. If crap happens and you just make the best of it. But the point though is, we need to take that same concept of being enormously generous, enormously open, living with open hands, living with open hearts and minds, and be that way toward one another. Because that's what God does to us. And how could we do less than that to the people around us, whom he does the same thing to them? So, because God gives the rain and the snow and all the good stuff to the wicked and the good, and who are we to judge? With an open hand and an open heart and an open mind, and ask God for whatever you need, and know that he will give if it's what he wants for you. I say that because, well, we don't always know what he wants. When I was 16, I was like, Lord, I want a Harley Davidson. Still have never had a Harley Davidson. But, that's okay. I didn't need one. I'd probably be dead by now. But ask. God gives us what he wants to give us because he wants us to see how much he loves us. So, I have rambled enough. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant day and a happy tomorrow. And we will see you at church. Thanks.